Overseas Filipino workers from abroad usually send out goods to their loved ones back home in the Philippines. Aside from the Philippines' laws on duties and customs, the OFW must also deal with the same laws of the country they are sending the goods from. But what if the worker wants to send stuff from the Philippines to the country they are working? In this video, I will explain how my video game collection from Manila ended up here in Sydney, Australia. Greetings, boys and girls, children of all ages. It is I, your boy Nurse Joe, with another video for you people. And as the title suggests, I will share my experiences on how I managed to bring my video game collection from Manila here to Sydney. To some of you guys who are new to my channel, be sure to like, and subscribe, and also to hit that notification for future content. First of all, I would like to say that thanks to 12 years in nursing, I was able to afford various video game consoles and original video games. After 2 years here in Australia, I was able to continue my JRPG collection. Recently, I decided for my Philippine collection and my Australian collection to be together. The question was how? Because I have over 100 of assorted video games and 8 video game consoles in the Philippines. Bringing a game or two here in Sydney is no problem, but bringing that many may cause a problem. So my friend suggested that I should ship everything via courier like FedEx, DHL, or LBC. The cost would depend on how big or heavy the box and how soon I want it to be delivered here in Sydney. The cheapest that I thought was LBC. So September 2019, Manila. I went to my local LBC branch to inquire on how much their biggest box would cost me. Keep in mind, I need to explain what items I am shipping. Apparently, they no longer ship items internationally. So basically, the documents required by the recipient country is just too much of a hassle, depending on the items you are shipping. Since LBC is a definite no-go, I went to our local DHL branch next and explained my inquiry. The DHL guy called his supervisor and asked their procedures shipping out video games, specifically CD-based video games. Most of my games were PlayStation and Xbox, after all. The guy said that since most of the items I was sending out were CD-based, they fall under the jurisdiction of the Optical Media Board of the Philippines. Now, to those who do not know, the Optical Media Board, or OMB, was established to regulate all software-related material coming in and out of the Philippines to control media piracy and protect multimedia intellectual properties. If you are shipping out items that are within their jurisdiction, then they must be taken to the OMB headquarters in Quezon City, first to be inspected and cleared. These items include USB thumb drives, hard drives, CD-based contents, cassettes, and VHS tapes. So with that logic, all of my video games must be cleared by the OMB before I could ship them out via courier. Clearly, I had no time to drag everything to the OMB and explain to middle-aged adults on what I was trying to do. My next move was to call the OMB office directly. So I told my problem to the OMB person and she was kind enough to accommodate me. So she sent me an email on what I should do. Attached to the email was a letter template addressed to the OMB secretary requesting special permission to ship out my items. I had to declare everything truthfully in the said letter and request form. Even though I may not have to haul my collection to the OMB headquarters, processing the letter may take 3 to 5 working days at best. So I thought hard on what to do next. I didn't have time to wait for 3 to 5 days for the OMB to clear my items. I was leaving the country the next day. If the actual video games would be the problem, why not just ship out the consoles separately? The weight of all bundled consoles combined was too heavy for me to check into the airplane anyway. I would rather check in the video games instead. Shipping out plain electronics should pose no problems if declared appropriately anyway. Worst case scenario, my video games would be flagged by airport customs officers of the Philippines and Australia. With that kind of optimism, I called the customs office of the Manila International Airport. The guy told me that much items of the same material can still be checked in. So he told me a few things. He told me to, number one, go to the airport customs office with the goods before checking in. Number two, accomplish a special form declaring all of the items that I am bringing abroad. Number three, swear that everything is for personal use only and not to return everything back to the Philippines or I shall pay duty taxes accordingly. Number four, pay the nominal fee of 130 pesos for the documentary stamp. Number five, let them inspect the items before finally securing them for check-in. Number six, keep the form and have it ready when I'm asked about the legitimacy of my video games. I was happy when I learned all of that. Now that I got my video games covered, my consoles were next. DHL was having this special promo where their biggest box would only cost about 8,900 pesos. As long as the maximum weight does not exceed over 25 kilos. I still need to declare everything that I am shipping out in their shipping form though. So I bundled up my consoles in bubble wrap and made sure I keep the total weight under 25 kilos. Some of you might say, why not keep them in their individual boxes? The answers are A, keeping them in boxes would imply that they are brand new and I would be charged with extra tax if I did that. The tax may come from DHL Philippines or Australia. B, I don't have the boxes to begin with because all of my consoles are all used items. Thanks to my fellow comrades at RGCP. Unfortunately, I had to leave my PSX behind. Although it is still fully functional, its weight is 6.5 kilos too heavy for me to carry with me to Sydney. I ended up with my SNES, my UFO Super Drive 7, GameCube, Wii, Game Boy Advance, PS1, PS2, Dreamcast, Xbox 360, and a voltage regulator. So I accomplished the DHL form declaring each one that I am shipping out. Everything was tightly tucked inside the biggest DHL box with a total weight around 24.7 kilos. So my consoles were done and ready to fly separately to Australia. The next day, the day of my flight back to Sydney, I went to the customs window with my games, bundled in bubble wrap, according by console. I accomplished the form and declared that I had over 100 assorted video games for personal use only. I swore that I will not return everything back to the Philippines. I paid the fee of 130 pesos, regardless of the size of the box or how heavy it was. I let them check all of the contents for any contraband, even if they did not unravel the bubble wrap. Any hidden contraband will be seen by the airport security x-rays anyway. They have this special packaging tape with the words examined by the Bureau of Customs. So I let them use the tape to seal my box of games. With it would help tell the security that my box should be safe to be checked in. They let me keep the form with me should the occasion arises for me to dish it out. So fortunately, I was able to board the plane without a hitch. My box of games did not trigger the airport security at all. So the next hurdle to overcome was the Sydney airport security. Australia has one of the strictest airport security on earth when it comes to bringing foreign stuff inside the country. My video games were no different, so not to mention Asians are always targets of airport security and inspection. more than they would like to admit, and understandably so. Check out their TV show specifically produced for their airport and border security. You know what I mean. Anyways, the immigration officer will determine if you will be selected for a random search and inspection. In my case, my permanent residency became official in March 2018. Fortunately for me, I was not chosen. If I was, they would write a special mark on my immigration pass. If the mark is K as in K9, then that means they will send out the hounds to sniff out my bags and boxes. When I reached the Australian customs, the officer took a look of my pass and saw there was no mark. He did saw my box of games, taped with the Bureau of Customs of the Philippines. He asked what was inside the box, and I politely answered, "Just my collection of assorted video games for personal use. I had my special permit on standby." Without questioning me any further, he told me to head straight out of the customs line without subjecting myself and my bags and boxes for additional x-ray. I was able to bring home my box of video games without hitch, and DHL was able to deliver my box of consoles the next day without any problems. Now, a big disclaimer. My circumstances may differ to some of you who would like to do the same thing as I did. My suggestion to you guys is do your research first. Be sure to understand the laws of the country of origin in terms of exporting video games and the importing laws of the receiving country. There may be permits or forms that you need to accomplish, and even fees and taxes that you should pay. Another suggestion, be truthful and honest on what you are declaring. Airport security has ways of telling if you are lying about something you are packing with. With or without video games, airport security can still be triggered with other stuff on you that they consider as contraband. If you have proper documentation with you and do not make a fuss, everything should be okay. Worst case scenario, they will not allow you to leave the airport should you refuse to relinquish the aforementioned contraband items. Things could have gone horribly wrong for me because I just did my planning on the fly in just one day. And just to show you guys that I am telling the truth, I'm going to show the boxes of video games and consoles that I still have not opened yet since they left Manila. I am saving the unboxing for another video, you see. Here, I'll show you. So guys, I will end this video with that. Just reminding the people again to like and subscribe to this channel and hit that notification for future content. And as always, I will see you guys again in the next video. Peace.